Yo, what's up guys, it's Iron J Moto, and today I want to talk about my new handlebar setup. If you guys are following me on Instagram, then you would know that I just installed these new Thrashin Supply low bend bars. Got them in chrome. I think it's awesome because obviously I've been playing a lot into the whole black and chrome vibe. Got the chrome exhaust, the chrome air filter, the emblems, the fork brace, and now I got the bar. Hopefully I'll add a little bit of more chrome accents without it being a little bit too tacky, but so far I think it looks pretty good. On top of getting the new handlebar, I also got a new riser, which are the Bung King 10-inch risers with 1-inch pullback. I got them from my boy Jared, who now lives in San Diego. He just upgraded to a lowrider ST, and these came off of his old Softail Street Bob, and he was kind enough to ship them over to me, so appreciate you, bro. Of course, doing a whole new handlebar setup, I had to get new grips as well, so I went with the ODI, the Heartlet grips. I've been seeing a lot of people rock these. I like the all rubber, and they also look pretty badass. They do feel really good riding with gloves and having like the rubber all around it, and yeah, comfortable throttle, nice and smooth. I love this setup. I think it looks really good with the lines of the bike, having the bars like that with the 10-inch risers and the low bend bar. The Thrashin low bend bar, let's go ahead and talk about that really quick. It has a 2.5-inch rise, and it has about a 30-inch width. It also has a 22-degree sweep in the bar too. But yeah, I like the low bend bar. I went with it because I like a little bit more low profile here at the bar area. I don't like it flat, but I also don't like it to be too high of a sweep. I really like the profile of these bars and riser setup. Again, I got the 10-inch risers and then 2.5-inch rise in the bars, so I knew that I'd be around 12.5 inches total rise. I knew that if I went with the mid bend, I would be a lot higher, and I didn't want to necessarily be at my shoulder height or above my shoulders. I'm 5'6", so with this handlebar setup specifically, I'm actually right above my chest. Sitting on the bike, I'm about right above my chest and right below my shoulders. It's really a perfect height for me at 5'6". If I sit up and I'm relaxed, you can see the bend in my arms, so it's not like I'm like stiff like this. You know what I'm saying? I got a nice little relaxed feel here, so it's the perfect height. It does make my body posture more straight. I do have to lean forward just a touch in my upper back, but it's nothing crazy. I'm completely comfortable, and I love the way this feels. I didn't internally wire into the risers. They do have slots to internally wire the risers, but I put all the wires down the middle. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have this little mesh wire tube to clean up the wires so it looks like one clean piece. The reason why I decided to not internally wire into the risers is because I eventually want to get Thrashin risers. So if I do that, I should be able to just swap out the risers and keep everything wired into the handlebars without having to depin it again, feed the wires through, etc, etc. This way, if I upgrade to the Thrashin risers, you don't necessarily internally wire through those, so I can just take the top clamp off, take the bar off, take the risers off, swap the risers, and then put this back in, or put the bar back in at least. But yeah, that's why I didn't internally wire through the risers. All in all, I love the way that the bars look. I love the way they feel. It's got that classic, you know, club style kind of look going on now. Again, with all the chrome, I really like how I went with the chrome bar to kind of play off the accents. I can't decide if I'm just going to do chrome levers or a set of chrome mirrors or both. So if you guys have any opinions on that, go ahead and comment below and let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and hop on the bike and I guess just talk about how they feel. I mean, there's not really much to say. I did just want to cover the low bend bar. I feel like when I was looking into it, because I wasn't sure if I was going to go with the mid bend or a low bend, I didn't find much content on the low bend bars. I figured I might as well just do a video. And then also being 5'6" and kind of making the bike more comfortable and more ergonomically correct for at least me and my style of riding. Let's go ahead and hop on the bike and talk about them even more. Woo, sounds good. Again, I'm 5'6", and this setup is extremely comfortable. like I had mentioned before when we were in the parking lot, right above my chest, but still below my shoulders. It's kind of that sweet middle area right there where it's not too high, not too low. The bend in my arms is still relaxed and comfortable. I guess I should also mention that when I did this, I did also upgrade my riser bushings. I feel that if I went with a Thrashin med bed bar, those I believe are 4.5 inches of rise. So that probably would have put me right about at my shoulder height. So you're thinking the 10-inch risers with the mid-bend bar at 4.5 inches, you'd be right at 14 inches of total rise. Of course, that's, you know, if everything went straight up. Obviously, you kind of have the risers that kind of sweep back because of the forks, and then you have that adjustability with bringing the bars forward or backwards. I don't really know much else to say beyond everything that I had already said, but I do recommend this setup. Everything's going to be a variable on how tall you are and where you want the handlebars to live. I do think with the 10-inch risers and low bend bar landing right below my shoulders, I do believe that this really offers a really comfortable experience, especially for my style of riding, which is going to be a really universal style. I tend to ride aggressively. I tend to ride distance. I tend to ride on the highway and local. So again, I think that this offers me a really comfortable ride for many different applications. I like that the bars are 30 inches wide. I don't think that's too wide, but I also don't think it's super narrow. I think it's literally just the sweet spot. I feel like it just offers me more control. It just feels really, really nice, and I can still flick the bike around with this handlebar setup. Look at the lake. Woo! Beautiful day for the lake, man. Gotta love living in Florida. I will say that it is kind of it can be a tricky install with these handlebars with D-pinning and internally wiring, but luckily, shout out to Blockhead, he let me work at the shop, use his tools. Shout out to Chris because he gave me all kinds of tips and tricks and D-pinning the wires. And then shout out to my boy Freddie because he actually came and met me at the shop and helped me a ton with getting the bars on. It's always good to have a lot of good homies around you who also wrench on bikes. You learn so much from them, and then it's also nice to get your hands a little dirty and wrench on your own bike. It's a lot more rewarding. You save on money, and you learn your bike that much more. You become more with your bike knowing you did it. Of course, as long as you do things properly and don't cut corners, but it's definitely pretty rewarding, and I like that I was able to do this. I've done handlebars before in my past, but I've either extended the wires through like aftermarket extensions, or I would cut and resolder the wires. I believe Chris told me at one time to not cut the wires for these. Again, you have like your control housings, you have the throttle wire and the gauge wiring. So although the gauge wiring doesn't get internally wired, but with that being said, he said the proper way to do it is to just D-pin from the wiring harness. So that was I would probably say that was the hardest part of the whole thing. But once you get it and you find that sweet spot and what it feels like, it's really easy as taking them right off. But that was the part that took me the longest with installing the handlebar, and what was the most frustrating because I just couldn't figure it out for the life of me. But luckily, I found it out. Anyway, I'm going to close this video out here. Hopefully this video helps you guys if you're looking into getting a Thrashin low bend bar or just a whole new handlebar setup in general. If this video helped you, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you guys aren't, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I tend to usually always respond to all the comments left on my YouTube videos, as long as they're not dumb as hell. But anyway, until next time guys, peace.